Hello and welcome to this recording provided by Newcastle University Career Service on exploring postgraduate study. My name is Kate and I will be leading you through today's session. I'm one of 10 careers consultants here at Newcastle University, and in my role I work with students, staff and graduates to focus on careers and employability. Part of this includes supporting those considering further study to assess their options. Over the next 10 minutes, we'll cover 4 focus areas to help you understand postgraduate study, including the types of courses are available and the differences between them, how to assess if further study is a viable option for you, and factors to consider when choosing a course. This session won't cover application information or technique, so I will also provide some signposts to where you can further access this information and resources to support you with it. Often the first thing to consider is what type of further study you're aiming towards. The UK has a regulated qualifications framework which spans 9 levels. First degrees in higher education institutions like universities are most commonly completed at level 6, which includes bachelor's degrees such as BAs, BScs, BEngs, which the majority of those of you listening to this session today may already hold. Any further study after this is classed as postgraduate study. For most, after a bachelor's degree, the next step is a master's, but it is important to note that there are different types of master's degrees. The first is a taught master's programme, and this is where you'll find qualifications like MAs or MScs and more subject specialist degrees like Masters of Letters, Masters of Law, and so on. These types of taught masters all have strong modular elements where you'll often participate in a mix of seminars, lectures, and on timetables being assessed through methods such as exams and coursework. Most will also include extended independent projects towards the end of the degree. This may take the form of a dissertation, however, it is the size of this project that is one of the main differences to our other types of master's study, which is a Masters of Research. An MRes will focus on these extended independent research projects, and you will generally have fewer, if any, timetabled modules. If part of an MRes programme, they will often focus on your research skills to support you developing your own research focus. An MRes is often designed to train you in research and can be an excellent step to prepare you for doctoral level study. The most common type of doctoral level study that most of you will be familiar with is a PhD. It is, however, worth noting that though the most common type of doctorate is a PhD, it is not the only type. You can also do professional doctorate qualifications, such as a Doctor of Business Administration, often the next step after an MBA, or a Doctor of Medicine or Education. For those aiming to complete PhD study, a common route to this is through level 6 undergraduate degrees into a level 7 master's before moving on to a doctorate. However, it is worth noting that it's not always necessary to complete a standalone master's before applying and succeeding within a PhD. Applicants are often assessed on both their academic and research experience, and if you have built enough of this to put forward a competitive application, you may be able to jump straight from an undergraduate to doctoral level study. An example of when this may happen is for those looking to pursue research in a specific scientific discipline who've completed a placement year or a relevant undergraduate project during their degree. One of the main reasons it's possible to make this jump is due to our final type of postgraduate qualification, which you'll look at today, the MPhil. This can be a level 7 research master's in its own right, and one which will give you a similar skill set to a PhD, but at a smaller scale. However, you may find that when looking at PhDs in the UK, you will see it referenced a lot. A large majority of institutions, including Newcastle University, will often first register you on an MPhil before topping up to do a PhD in a later study. This allows you both and your institution to ensure you are ready and able to produce the level and quality of research required to complete your PhD thesis. This is common practice across UK universities, so if you see an MPhil advertised, you may want to check and see if it is a standalone Level 7 qualification or integrated as part of a Level 8 PhD study. The type of further study you choose to do should be influenced by your reason to pursue it. Understanding your motivation is not only key to choosing postgraduate study, but will be the foundation of a successful application. Throughout your personal statement and any potential interviews, you'll need to be able to articulate your reason for not only choosing the course, but the university. For some, the decision to pursue postgraduate study may be a simple one. If it is a compulsory requirement of the industry or role you're looking to build a career in sectors like education, psychology, medicine, and more. If you're in this camp, you may want to consider when the right time to complete further study is. For example, you might be straight out of an undergraduate degree in history and planning on pursuing a career as a solicitor by applying to a master's in law. Before committing to this course, you might want to ask yourself how committed you are to the career path. During your undergraduate degree, have you had chance to gain practical experience of the legal sector? Have you got a realistic picture of what a career in law entails? Have you spoken to solicitors? Do you know the steps after completing the course? And do you know about the cost involved? For others, you may have a passion for a subject area and want to learn more about it. Completing further study for the love of learning or continuing research into a particular field is a perfectly valid motivation. However, if you are also looking for that further study to open up future career options, you may want to think about what activity you choose to pursue alongside the study and what additional value it will be able to provide to your application for your next steps after postgraduate. When I speak to students, other motivations that can present are things like being unsure of the other options that are available, being able to continue being a student for a year and enjoying that, and they may not yet be ready to consider the labour market. These are starting points for a lot of students, so if you're in this camp, don't worry, but you may want to seek further guidance or reflect on your motivations and thinking. For a lot of people in this camp, they rely on the assumption that postgraduate study will make you more employable. And yes, further study can make you more employable and bring about higher salaries and more prestige. However, this is often only true if the further study you choose to pursue is relevant to your career direction. Try and consider the statement of further study will make you more employable when it applies to the industry you're interested in and want to build a career in. It provides access to industry experiences, builds relevant skills or knowledge, or connects you to professionals in the industry that you aspire to go into. To assess if your chosen further study will add value and is the right choice for you, picture where you are right now and what you would like to go into for your future career, whether this be a job role, an industry, or even a business startup. Now, consider what is stopping you from taking this step right now. You may find that there are barriers such as knowledge or a lack of technical skill. Maybe you need to develop further connections to professionals in this industry or currently be lacking research experience. If your chosen postgraduate course provides you with a path to overcome these barriers, it may certainly be an excellent choice to help you move forward that would enhance your career and employability. Once you have established that postgraduate study may be a beneficial option, it's important to also consider the practicalities to help you choose a course in university. Let's break down each of the factors on the screen here. First off, when choosing a course, it's important to ensure you meet the entry requirements. There may be specifications around your prior degree relevance, work experience, and language levels to fulfill. Applications to postgraduate study are often assessed on an individual basis, so if you are unsure you meet criteria, you can also contact the university's missions team or a listed academic to discuss it further. The delivery method of the programme can also be important. Think about factors such as the contact hours, assessment methods. Is the course offered full-time or part-time? What is the balance between online and in-person teaching? Are there any specific teaching styles and methods used? The course structure may also be a key determining factor. So for instance, are there any compulsory and optional modules, and what is the balance between them? When choosing a university, you may also want to think about the location. Consider the cost of living in this area, the accommodation that's available, what transport links and local culture is accessible. The university may also provide specialist facilities and equipment. This could range from equipment in scientific laboratories to recording studio facilities. Of particular importance when pursuing a research degree is the staff that are linked to programme. Take a look at their research output in their own areas of interest. For taught programmes, you may want to have a look at factors like teaching excellence ratings. Assessing all these practical factors will not only help you choose your course, but enhance your application when showcasing the motivations for selecting the specific programme and university. Affordability can be a large determinant on the feasibility of postgraduate study for many. All of our course pages have options to see funding available based on your country of residence, and you can also look at our general postgraduate scholarship funding listings, which includes potential support for both home and international students. There are also external searches, such as those provided by the British Council and the website Postgraduate Search. Postgraduate students may also want to look at UKRI Funding Finder, which focuses on support from UK research councils, and local libraries may also have copies of the Grant Register, which is produced each year and is a comprehensive guide of grants covering almost 60 countries for postgraduate and professional studies. In this session, you may find you want to take some steps to do some further research. There are lots of great information sites online like Find a Master's or Find a PhD. These have sections that cover huge scopes of topics, including how to approach potential supervisors and experience of doing independent research. As well as searching up online, it's also important to talk to people. Utilising opportunities like open days to speak with academics and student services. You can also use sources like the LinkedIn alumni search on the Newcastle University page to connect with other current students and graduates. Having fully explored your options in choosing postgraduate study, you may now want to go on to think about your next steps, including aspects like funding in more detail and beginning to gather your references. You'll also need to take steps to complete your application form and fulfil any personal statement, research proposal or portfolio requirements. You can navigate to ncl.ac.uk/careers, where you'll find further guidance and sessions on these steps from Newcastle University Career Service website within our further study section. I hope this session has been useful for you in supporting you to explore your postgraduate study options. Links for the resources mentioned can be found in the info box below, and we hope to see you at Newcastle University soon.